Hi guys, today I wanted to go down the route of medication. So after finding out what was going on in my head and being sober for 6 weeks, so I had a more informed decision making process, I decided to carry on drink free, as it were. Now of course there was more to it than just stopping drinking for 6 weeks. You know, unbeknown to me, I was also interacting with people. Before that I was a recluse. I was eating 3 times a day and very healthily. So without the support structure of combat stress, it wasn't long before I found myself not going to the gym in the morning, not eating 3 times a day, then not eating so healthily. And I guess within a blinking of eye, I was in the aisle of a supermarket, pushing a trolley and paying for a bottle of vodka, whiskey and port. Came home, consumed that, I suppose, and woke up in the morning with a hangover and decided to pick up the phone and call AA. Probably the best decision I made, actually. The first time I was in a room with people like me. It might sound very strange. With people that were saying exactly what was going on in my head. And I will point out, I was the only soldier in the room as well, for a start. In fact, the more I went, the more I realised we were all there because of our character defects. Because of something, whether it be low self-esteem or bad childhood. There were things coming out from every single one of us that was just similar. And for the first time, I felt like I fitted in. You know, I was with the drunks, but it wasn't the drunks at all. And it was probably one of the greatest bunch of people I'd met since I left the army, actually. And for the first time, the penny actually dropped. I wasn't alone. And when the penny dropped, it sent shockwaves through my entire plump little body. And I decided to stop fighting against my demons. In fact, strange as it may sound, you won't win when you fight your demons. They will win every time. You just got to be clever. You've got to think of other ways. And for me, it's a case of keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And being as though it is my mind that is the enemy a lot of the time, it is hard. With a sober lifestyle and a more informed decision-making process, I decided to give up on the whole drugs are bad. I mean prescribed drugs, by the way. You know, I had this belief that antidepressants, it's a bad thing to go down. You can get addicted to them. You know, they mess up your body a bit. And in fact, it's funny how I justified drinking a bottle of vodka each day, but I still had a fight in me that antidepressants were bad. I personally take a set of antidepressant tablets that work also on my anxiety issues that are attributed to my PTSD. And these are known as SSRIs, or serotonin... selective serotonin. And these are classed as selective serotonin... Hold on a sec, I'm going to look at my notes. Reuptake inhibitors. I was going to try and do that in one flow, but I can't do it, so sod it. I could go into that a lot more detail, but as you'll see at the end, there'll be a link at the bottom that will explain all the different types of antidepressants. There's a surprisingly huge amount of antidepressants on the market. I don't know how much people are aware of that, and that'll be my phone. In fact, we've got some extremely interesting facts about alcohol, and I'm going to put those at the end. Please click on the link and have a look at that. Now, of course, we're all human beings, and this is your choice. You have a conscious choice to make yourself. And in making that choice, I just want to point out a few things. And certainly one of the things I didn't sort of respect at the time, I think, was that with an infinite amount of human beings, with an infinite amount of lifestyles, getting on the right antidepressants isn't going to be as simple as sort of taking a headache tablet, for instance. There's a lot more aspects to consider. Again, if this is the choice you're going to make and you're going to go down the antidepressant or the tablets route, be aware that it's not your doctor's fault, and don't get too stressed with it. But you may be put on the wrong strength. You may be put on the wrong kind of tablet for you. There's going to be a bit of trial and error, is what I'm trying to point out. But again, when you look at pros and cons, I think it's works itself out, doesn't it, really? And lastly, but by no means least, I want to talk about the non-clinical medication. One of the big ones for me was learning to talk to people, learning to open up to my friends and various people, not worry about the implications of opening my mouth. And this has become my self-medication, and that's also why I've decided to devote all my time to this project, to talking to you guys. Because it's not just about talking to you guys. I'm getting a hell of a lot out of this myself. I'm revisiting things that I never thought I'd be able to revisit, and I'm also talking openly about stuff that now really doesn't bother me. And I mean, I'd love to stress that it really doesn't bother me anymore. And I think that's what's made it a lot easier for me to cope with, actually. What I am bothered about though is subscriptions. So please hit that subscribe button below, and let's try and reach more people. And I must tell you, After a week of absence, I'm back with a vengeance. I've been inundated with friends and colleagues sending me their own messages of hope and letting me know about their own issues. It's been a really, really good week, considering it was such a bad week. Honestly, every single one of you has got such a good story, such a good outlook on some of the things. And I've got to say, I'm so humbled by how many of you have been talking to me to try and get me out of that bad place that I was in last week. Please, 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 guys, it's all such good stuff, and it helped me get out of a really bad place. So please, all those great things you told me that got me out of it, put them in the comments below, because we can help other people as well. I'd also like to say that we're going to get involved with Mental Health Week, commencing the 13th of July. This is going to be a great opportunity for bloggers to come together and talk about mental health. So of course I'm going to get involved in it. So again, thanks very much for watching us. Both me and the Worm love it. See you next time.